Pablo Emilio Escobar, a name synonymous with both infamy and luxury. Born in 1949 in the vibrant city of Rio Negro, Colombia, he defied his humble origins, skyrocketing from a middle-class life to become the seventh richest man globally by 1989. Escobar's empire wasn't built on legitimate success. Instead, he mastered the dark art of drug trafficking. But today, we're not diving into the infamous billions he amassed. Instead, join us on a journey through the extravagant and blood-soaked mansions he built, because if anything, Escobar knew how to spend. Back in the day, Escobar was already cooking up clever money plans since he was a kid. But his full-on dive into a life of crime took off in 1966. Legend has it that as a teenager, he pulled off a cheeky scheme by swiping tombstones, giving them a facelift, and then selling them again. Although not everyone agrees with this tale. Word on the street is Pablo copped to running small-time cons with his buddies and peddling fake lottery tickets during his youth. Escobar then shifted gears to car theft and started grabbing headlines for his icy, no-nonsense attitude. The real turning point was kidnapping VIPs for big bucks. In 1971, Escobar's crew snatched up local big shot Diego Echevarria. Even after the family gave up $50,000 in ransom, the businessman ended up 6 feet under. Around that time, Pablo dipped his toes into the cocaine smuggling scene. Climbing the ladder with bribes and blood, he founded the infamous Medellin cartel in the 70s, La Catedral. Imagine being the top dog in all of Colombia's underworld. That was Pablo Escobar's reality. Dodging rival gangs and law enforcement simultaneously, his life was like walking on a tightrope over a pit of danger. You'd think his fate would be sealed, either a violent end at the hands of a rival gang or a lifetime behind bars. But this is Pablo Escobar we're talking about. He was no ordinary man. Escobar, the maestro of dodging extradition, managed to dance between the raindrops. Using his vast wealth and influence, he pulled strings with local authorities to create his own prison. Enter La Catedral, or as some call it, Hotel Escobar. This wasn't your run-of-the-mill government-approved penitentiary. Set on a misty mountainside, this fortress was designed to repel any aerial assaults. Guarded by hand-picked men loyal to Escobar, getting in there alive was a feat. La Catedral earned its nickname because, let's be real, it was more of a 5-star retreat than a jail, a casino, a playhouse for his daughter, a spa, and even a football field. Escobar lived the life of a kingpin on vacation. He didn't let the pretense of imprisonment curb his lifestyle. Frank Sinatra supposedly swung by for a round of casino games. But it wasn't all play. La Catedral was decked out with cutting-edge communication devices, ensuring Escobar could run his empire remotely. It seemed like there was no escaping Escobar's influence on Colombia. However, the party eventually came to a screeching halt. Reports of Escobar ordering the torture and murder of 4 lieutenants led to the Colombian government pulling the plug on his luxurious prison experiment. After a brief stint, Escobar was back on the run, facing a 600-man-strong unit known as Search Block. On December 2, 1993, the chapter closed with Escobar meeting his demise at the hands of the government forces. As for La Catedral, it transitioned from a den of infamy to a peaceful monastery. Quite the ironic shift. Abandoned for years, it found a new purpose when Benedictine monks arrived in 2007. Today, it serves as a site for religious pilgrimages, a far cry from its notorious past. The irony continues as it houses a memorial for Escobar's victims. Escobar's many properties have taken varied paths. Some left to nature, some turned positive, serving as reminders of the dark days he imposed on Colombia. La Casa Grande. Not all of Escobar's homes were in Colombia, and for good reason. Not everyone in Colombia was a fan, you know? One of these homes away from home was La Casa Grande, which he built on the tiny Caribbean island of La Isla Grande. On an island with just over 1,000 people lies one of Pablo Escobar's largest estates. And get this, it was only accessible by a special boat from Cartagena. This wasn't your regular home for the public eye. At its peak, La Casa Grande was so massive, we're talking about over 300 rooms, each with solid gold shower heads. Can you believe it? This place shouts Escobar's immense wealth. Even though he tried spending it all, he just couldn't quite exhaust it. When building this secret party pad, Escobar went all out, commissioning a giant complex with a mansion, a gigantic swimming pool, a helicopter landing pad, and a dock. To reach this mansion, you'd have to trek through the Caribbean forest for hours only to catch a glimpse of La Casa Grande before being turned around by an armed guard. After Escobar's demise, the mansion on La Isla Grande fell into government hands and gradually crumbled into ruins. This once bustling complex, where powerful underground figures held elaborate meetings, is now reclaimed by nature. Unlike some of Escobar's other places, La Casa Grande didn't get the royal treatment. It's been left abandoned and forgotten, a mere shadow of its former self. You won't even find it on Google Maps. La Manuela. Guess what? Pablo Escobar was sneakily sliding 15 tons of cocaine into the United States every single day. And on top of that, raking in a mind-blowing $810 every second. Imagine the stacks of cash he must have had. Now here's the twist. Instead of stuffing all that cash in a regular old bank, Escobar went full-on treasure hunt mode. This guy hid his money in the wildest places, warehouses, fields, and even in his massive estates. One of his cribs was La Manuela, a luxurious estate he insisted he got legitimately. La Manuela wasn't just any vacation spot, it was Escobar's personal paradise, a 20-acre estate nestled in the resort town of Guatape, right by the shores of the Pinal Reservoir with a massive pool, tennis courts, and horse stables. And because Escobar had a thing for collecting vehicles, he made sure La Manuela had a helipad big enough to play football on and a seaplane dock. But you know, being a drug lord comes with its risks. Even in his paradise, Escobar wasn't safe. Guard towers sprouted up like mushrooms on the estate, making sure nobody crashed his party without an invite. Yet 8 months before his final bow, La Manuela faced an unexpected enemy attack. 200 kilograms of TNT turned one of its bathrooms into a fireworks show, taking a good chunk of the building down. Fast forward to today, and La Manuela stands as a chilling reminder of Escobar's past. Abandoned and swallowed by nature, the estate is a haunted playground for paintball enthusiasts. But here's the twist. Escobar had a sneaky plan for his wealth. He scattered it in strange spots like La Manuela. After his demise, treasure hunters flocked to the estate, tearing it apart in search of the hidden loot. Escobar's brother spilled the beans. Around 10% of their earnings, at $2.1 billion annually, vanished into thin air. Blame it on rats, blame it on nature, or maybe just blame it on the audacity of a drug lord's treasure hunt gone wrong. Monaco building. Back in the day, Pablo Escobar was like the real estate mogul of a lifetime, scoring properties left and right, not just in his homeland, but also abroad. Some were his personal digs, while others were meant to sprinkle a little luxury on the less fortunate folks in Colombia. Now, not every one of his cribs was a mega mansion. Take, for instance, his spot in Medellin, Colombia, the Monaco building, a 6-story gray gem. Not exactly a palace, but no slouch either. Nestled in this building of secrets was Escobar's own penthouse paradise, a pad that could make anyone do a double take. For a good chunk of time, the Monaco building was Escobar's turf, until 1988 when a rival cartel decided to spice things up with a little bombing action. That forced Escobar to hit the road, leaving the Monaco building behind, abandoned and lonesome for decades. Even after Escobar checked out for good, the building stood frozen in time. Fast forward to 2018 and city officials finally decided to pull the plug, demolishing the Monaco building. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just to clear some space. Nope, they wanted to wipe the slate clean, turning the spot into a memorial for the folks who had a rough time thanks to Escobar's shenanigans. So in case you're wondering, yes, the Monaco building has had quite the glow up, from a kingpin hideout to a memorial. Hacienda Napoles. Back in 1976, when Escobar was just 27, he tied the knot with Maria Victoria Henao, a young bride of 15. The dynamic duo didn't stop there. They became proud parents of 2 children. But hold on to your seats, because that's not the only thing Escobar was up to. Escobar, with his eyes on the prize, skyrocketed to drug lord stardom, unleashing a tidal wave of cocaine into the U.S. The dollars started flowing like a waterfall. What did he do with all that cash? He decided to build his fantasy fortress. In 1979, he blew $63 million on a 7,000-acre country estate just a stone's throw away from Medellin. Imagine stepping into the world of Pablo Escobar, not as a criminal mastermind, but as someone captivated by the spirit of his Hacienda Napoles. This sprawling estate, situated in Puerto Triunfo, Colombia, covered 7.7 square miles, larger than Disneyland Paris. A Spanish colonial house, a sculpture park, and a zoo that housed exotic animals all created a theme park vibe. Escobar's love for vehicles? Well, the estate had its private airport to accommodate his private jets and an extensive collection of vintage and luxury cars. Today, the once grand mansion lies in ruins, forgotten and neglected. But in a surprising twist, other areas of the estate have been transformed into a thrilling theme park. Escobar's abandoned swimming pools are now part of an exciting water park featuring a cool octopus-shaped water slide. The artificial lakes have become the perfect backdrop for a boat ride. And hold your breath, Escobar's personal zoo has evolved into a wildlife park. I'm talking about zebras, antelopes, emus, meerkats, and even crocodiles. It's like stepping into a real-life safari. Yet making this shift from private zoo to a public playground has proven to be no walk in the park. The challenges they've faced are nothing short of an adventure in themselves. Escobar's Hacienda Napoles may have witnessed its share of controversies, but today it stands as proof of the curious twists life can take, turning a once exclusive domain into a place for all to relish. So what's your take on Escobar's extravagant lifestyle? Were his mansions a bit too much even for a drug kingpin? As we conclude today's video, we eagerly await your feedback and thoughts about the content we presented. Your opinion matters greatly to us, so don't hesitate to share it in the comments section below. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it valuable, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could show your support by giving us a thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing to our channel to stay updated with our latest content. If you find the information we provide useful, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family so they can benefit from it too. Make sure to press the bell icon to receive notifications about our upcoming videos. Until then, stay tuned, take care, and thank you for being part of our community.